Shalom to you, like giving all praise and honor, glory to you. How about Shema Shai, Bishop Kadesh, and giving double honor to the elder apostles and elder bishops, the great millstone, well, peace and salutation to the elect. Shema Mothman is a Mopper from the great millstone, Plaintables camp of Philadelphia, coming with another week lesson. And fair use warning, this is for educational purposes only. Jimmy Dore Show is the source. You have it here. And Andrew Cuomo, alright, or Andrew, Andy Cuomo, to eliminate free speech in NYC for the state of Israel. Okay, you have it here. 1 year later, and in 2024, the summer, Andrew Cuomo announced a launch of anti-S, alright, ism advocacy group called Never Again Now, alright, which that term there, the anti-S, you have different offsprings that came out of Sem. Okay, so you have Shem, alright, one of our forefathers, which we come out of Shem itself, alright, which came out of the loins of Noah. This is Genesis 5:32, and Noah was 500 years old, and Noah begat Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Alright, and you go into the lineage, or the genealogy, or the whole fathers, okay, or genealogy, okay, the children, okay, of Shem, Elam, alright, Ashur, Arphaxad, Lud, and Aram, okay. And so, you know, if somebody even is anti S, they will be against what you have with the other sons as well. Alright? And we have our lineage going down. Facts said Eber and such. And when you go all the way even more down, you know, you'll see on down, and you have Esau, which is Esau, it comes out of Shem as well. Alright? Just see this here. Through Abraham, through Isaac, you have, of course, the chosen, which is Jacob, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Israel. But also out of the genealogy of Shem, you also have Esau, which came out of the loins of Isaac, which Esau is Edom. Okay? You also have all, as you see, of these fathers that came all ultimately out of Shem. Okay? Just not, you have the chosen, which is Jacob, and you have those that are not chosen. Okay? For the ultimate blessing. Noah, Shem had Japheth. You Shem, you got it on down. Alright? So, you know, you can check into that. So if you ultimately that, you will be against even what? Are you gonna be against yourself? But that's another this a contradiction out there, just for those that want to go into it. But remember, you have it. Shem is what it is, which Shum is the Hebrew. All right, but they saying spelling it with a to the S, to the E, and the M. Okay, but that's, like I said, it's non-biblical. Okay, now we gonna go back to the video, and a lot of these different individuals go back to being of Esau Edom stock. All right, so they would, of course, be talking heads for the powers that could be. All right, or that be that have the control of the earth, which are the wicked. And as what we're going into, the word that's speaking against E will soon and be stopped via their policies that they're stating. Okay, that's what they want to do, put a stop to it, and that's going to bring persecution to the Israelites. Okay, that preach this word. All right, which would be us here at Great Millstone.
We have the Democratic Socialists of America who are opposing America's support of Israel, and it is very dangerous.
Right, you have these different groups, or as you go into Egyptian versus Egyptian, groups that are opposing the support, and even, like, as we know, Donald Trump, which is the emperor, commander-in-chief, president of Babylon, he's pro state of Israel. Okay. And he has his campaign, to, of course, to push and enforce different laws against those that, are speaking out against what are the different acts that's done in the Gaza Strip and Palestine. Okay. He has it where he had tried to stop different universities, by stopping visas, trying to attempt that, and trying to block funding, to them because of the different protests. But that's all of this is just biblical prophecy going ramped up. Okay, Isaiah. Let me see. I get it. Isaiah 19. It tells you that, and I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptian, which are your modern day Americans, as this is spiritually Sodom in Egypt, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and everyone shall be his against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And one thing about Babylon the Great, and one thing about Esau's posterity, is that they're a house divided. And as we know, and you got some that are, they're all for the democracy and such, but then, they want a different political makeup and such. This is Matthew chapter 12 and 25, and Yahushua knew their thoughts and said, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. So this house cannot stand. America cannot stand with how the different uproars of the people is going. He's there to say it's very dangerous to speak out against that Edomite rule.
Welcome to the Jimmy Dore Show, everybody. Keaton in. Here's Andrew Cuomo's response to the shooting outside of the Israeli embassy. There can be no tolerance for anti-Semitism, period. Enforce the law. So Andrew Cuomo, of course, running to be the next mayor of New York City. Here he is outlining his plans to undermine the First Amendment in the biggest city in the country.
Yeah, free speech, right?
Hate grows. Yesterday did not happen in a vacuum. There has been a progressive rhetoric, political mobilization that has been against Israel and has been anti-Semitic. We have not enforced the laws that we have in place. People say the issue is personal. It's personal for me also. I'm a New Yorker.
I mean, you did send, I mean, not you, but Eric Adams, who you are running against, did send hundreds of cops.
Which is like that dude.
To Columbia University to break up the nonviolent sit-in at their
protests, which these protests are again prophecy. This is in the book Second Esdras, the 9th chapter, and it says here, he answered me then and said, this is 2 Esdras 9:1, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and thou seest part of the signs past which I have told thee before, and thou shalt understand that it's the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and upwards of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things in the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, the end is manifest or clearly evident. Okay? So, hey, he's, as it mentioned, this man, for this particular protest, sent the law enforcement to break that all up.
Adams, who you are running against, did send hundreds of cops to Columbia University.
Let me get that back.
I'm a New Yorker.
I mean, you did send, I mean, not you, but Eric Adams, who you are running against.
So Jake, but he would only, Jake was, pardon me, and make sure I correct myself. Even if it was him, he would do the same thing.
And did send hundreds of cops to Columbia University to break up the nonviolent sit-in at their campus hall. Those were staples of the 60s anti-Vietnam protests. And you sent the cops in pretty full force. The incumbent mayor did anyway. So I don't know what laws they're not enforcing, but he has a few more in mind.
Yeah, so he's telling you that these things are being enforced. Okay? Right. So making these guys hypocrites and liars.
Personal to my family, to my brothers-in-law, to my son-in-law, to my friends, and as mayor,
my friends
would institute the IHRA standard all across the board.
What is that?
But he has a few more in mind.
It's personal to my family, to my brothers-in-law,
taking it personal.
To my son-in-law, to my friends, and as mayor, I would institute the.
You have it here. The International Hollow Remembrance Alliance. Okay.
IHRA standard all across
the
board.
How about to look into that?
Every school child to visit the Holocaust Museum.
I believe we did that. I don't think I went to the actual. There's a museum that they got, I think, in Philadelphia. But I had a Amalekite teacher. We heard about that. I remember during the time when I was crying about slavery when we was reading in a historic book, you had her say that they did it to my people too. Okay? And she's referring to that apparent event.
And have zero tolerance for anti-Semitic activity, period. Enforce the law. The law is clear, and enforce the law.
There you go, man. And you see doing these different Masonic gestures. So, you know, you could go into this, right? What it called, gotta but be more loyal to the state of Israel or alleged priorities. Let's see what he's gonna go with this.
Summarize their definition of anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism is accusing Jewish citizens of being more loyal to Israel or to the alleged priorities of Jews worldwide than to the interests of their own nations. Denying the Jewish people their right to self-determination, for example, by claiming that the existence of a state of Israel is a racist endeavor. So to claim that a white European settler colonial apartheid state is a racist problem.
This particular individual statement. Okay, so YouTube, let it be known, of course, this is his statement. Okay, because I know YouTube would, of course, strike channels for, as we have it, anti S and speech and such, which would be under hate speech and such. All right. Again, this is being for educational purposes only. Right here, we're stating he's stating, and this video is only replaying what he's stating. Okay.
Project is anti-Semitic according to this definition. Applying double standards by requiring of it, meaning Israel, a behavior not expected or demanded of any other democratic nation.
So, you know, it's you got a bunch of different things. You know, Cuomo for mayor, he's going with these different, the city must ensure our Jewish brothers and sisters feel safe on every street, every day, every hour, and that must be a mandate. All right, so we see what it is going on. All right, so you can just look into this on your own. I'm only letting it be known about the persecution will be ramped up. Okay. Because as Obadiah, the first chapter says, Obadiah, the vision of Obadiah, that says the Lord Yahweh concerning Edom, we have heard a rumor from the Lord, an ambassador is sent among the heathen, arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. Okay, and this is of course, statements within the scriptures, okay, concerning Edom being made small, or Quatan, which is being insignificant and young, or insignificant and unimportant, and such. All right, and as I said, to be despised. Despised is bazah, which means to hold in regard a contempt. All right, also to be despicable is saying. And these things we're seeing amongst the nations, all right, the heathen. But as we know, there's going to be a great persecution, against the men of the Lord, all right. But remember, as the scriptures say, here in Matthew 5. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. All right. It says, blessed are ye which men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all matter of evil against you falsely for my name's sake, or for my sake, pardon me. All right. So, I'm going to that. And I had one other scripture I was going to bring out. This is the book of 2nd Esdras. the 16th chapter. And it says here, in verse 70, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord, the Israelites. Okay? And in that insurrection, you know, a lot of the different crimes will be for words spoken against E. Alright? So, you know, hey, we're putting this out here. You know, again, fair use warning, educational purposes only, and you know, everything was stated concerning what Andrew Cuomo plans to do, all right, with his political lobby to mayor. So shalom to the elect.